Welcome to our channel. Today, we're exploring one of history's most incredible transformations. How did Christianity become the most popular religion on earth? From humble beginnings among persecuted followers in the Roman Empire to becoming the faith of billions worldwide, Christianity's rise is a tale of emperors, missionaries, wars, culture, and deep spiritual devotion. What forces propelled this faith across continents and centuries? Was it politics, miracles, or a message that resonated with the human soul? Stay tuned as we dive into the fascinating journey of how Christianity conquered hearts and history to become the world's largest religion. Christianity's rise from a small, persecuted sect in the Roman Empire to the world's largest religion is one of the most astonishing transformations in human history. Today, over 2.3 billion people identify as Christians, making it the most widespread faith on earth. But how did this happen? The answer lies in a complex tapestry woven from theology, history, politics, culture, philosophy, and human longing for meaning. Let's journey through the critical factors, spiritual, social, and political, that propelled Christianity to become the world's dominant faith. 1. Humble beginnings, Jesus and the Apostles. Christianity began in the early 1st century CE in Roman-occupied Judea, centered on Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus' teachings, love, forgiveness, compassion, and salvation through faith, were revolutionary. He attracted followers from all walks of life, especially the marginalized. His crucifixion around 30 to 33 CE seemed to mark an end, but the resurrection claimed by his followers sparked a new movement. The apostles, particularly Peter and Paul, played pivotal roles in spreading Jesus' message beyond Jewish communities. Paul's missionary journeys across the Roman Empire planted Christian communities in cities like Corinth, Ephesus, and Rome. Crucially, Paul argued that non-Jews, Gentiles, could become Christians without adopting full Jewish law, vastly broadening Christianity's appeal. 2. Roman roads and the Pax Romana. Geography and infrastructure were crucial. The Roman Empire maintained excellent roads, a unified legal system, and relative peace, known as the Pax Romana. This allowed missionaries to travel safely and communicate efficiently. Early Christians took advantage of urban networks, synagogues, and marketplaces to spread the faith. Commerce, military movements, and migration carried Christian ideas far beyond Judea. The empire's multicultural cities became fertile ground for new ideas, especially among people disillusioned with traditional Roman religion. 3. A universal message. Christianity offered something unique, a universal message of hope, salvation, and equality before God. Unlike many local religions tied to specific places or peoples, Christianity transcended ethnic and cultural boundaries. It promised eternal life and forgiveness to anyone who believed, regardless of social status, gender, or ethnicity. In an empire plagued by inequality, plagues, and uncertainty, this message was profoundly appealing. Christians also stood out for their charity and communal care. During epidemics, when many fled cities, Christians stayed to tend the sick, gaining admiration and converts. 4. Persecution and martyrdom. Paradoxically, persecution helped Christianity grow. The Roman authorities periodically persecuted Christians, suspicious of their refusal to worship the emperor or Roman gods. Yet far from crushing the faith, persecution often inspired curiosity and sympathy. Stories of martyrs, believers who died rather than renounce their faith, spread widely. Their courage impressed onlookers and fueled the belief that Christianity offered a truth worth dying for. The phrase, "the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church," attributed to Tertullian, captures this phenomenon perfectly. 5. Constantine and imperial conversion. A true turning point came in the early 4th century CE. In 312 CE, Constantine, vying to become sole Roman emperor, reportedly had a vision of a cross in the sky with the words, "In this sign conquer." After winning the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, Constantine credited the Christian God for his victory. In 313 CE, he issued the Edict of Milan, legalizing Christianity. The persecution ceased. Constantine became the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity, though his own faith was complex and gradual. Still, he gave Christians privileges, funded church building projects, and influenced theological debates. Christianity, once a persecuted minority faith, now had imperial backing, a seismic shift in its fortunes. 6. Theodosius and Christianity as state religion. In 380 CE, Emperor Theodosius, I took the decisive step of declaring Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire through the Edict of Thessalonica. Pagan practices were increasingly suppressed. Churches grew wealthier and more powerful. This official status allowed Christianity to spread even more rapidly. Bishops gained influence in imperial politics. The Christian faith became intertwined with Roman identity and law. 7. Councils and orthodoxy. Christianity's expansion also required doctrinal unity. As the faith spread, diverse interpretations of Jesus' nature, the Trinity, and salvation emerged. This prompted church leaders to convene councils to define orthodoxy, correct belief. Council of Nicaea, 325 CE, condemned Arianism, affirmed that Jesus is of the same substance as God the Father. Council of Constantinople, 381 CE, further clarified the Trinity. Council of Chalcedon, 451 CE, defined Christ as fully divine and fully human. These theological debates were sometimes intense, even violent, but they helped establish a unified creed that stabilized Christian teaching as it spread across the empire. 8. Monasticism and missionaries. Monasticism, people withdrawing from society to devote themselves to prayer, became a powerful force. Monasteries preserved learning, copied manuscripts, and served as spiritual centers. Meanwhile, missionaries carried Christianity beyond Roman borders. St. Patrick brought Christianity to Ireland in the 5th century. St. Augustine of Canterbury led the mission to Anglo-Saxon England in 597 CE. Cyril and Methodius evangelized the Slavs in the 9th century, inventing the Cyrillic alphabet. Missionaries adapted Christianity to local cultures, blending faith with native traditions, easing conversion. 9. Christianity and medieval Europe. After Rome fell in 476 CE, Christianity survived and adapted. The Church became a unifying institution in fragmented Europe. Popes, bishops, and monasteries wielded enormous influence. The medieval period saw Christianity shape laws, art, education, and social norms. Cathedrals rose across Europe as symbols of faith and community power. Christian holidays, saints, and rituals became woven into daily life. 10. The Age of Exploration. From the 15th century onward, European explorers carried Christianity worldwide. Spanish and Portuguese conquests spread Catholicism in Latin America, Africa, and Asia. Later, Protestant missionaries traveled to Africa, China, India, and beyond. While this spread was sometimes entangled with colonialism, it also introduced Christianity to vast new regions. Local populations often blended Christian teachings with traditional beliefs, creating unique expressions of faith. 11. The Reformation and Protestant growth. The 16th century Protestant Reformation split Western Christianity, creating new branches like Lutheranism, Calvinism, and Anglicanism. Despite religious wars and upheaval, Protestantism ultimately expanded Christianity's diversity and reach. Protestant emphasis on reading the Bible fueled literacy and individual faith. Missionary societies grew rapidly during the 18th and 19th centuries, sending evangelists across the globe. 12. Modern global Christianity. Today, Christianity's center of gravity has shifted significantly. Africa has seen explosive Christian growth. In 1900, there were roughly 9 million Christians in Africa. By 2025, projections estimate over 600 million. Latin America remains predominantly Christian, with a mix of Catholicism and rising Protestantism. In Asia, Christianity grows steadily, especially in South Korea and China, despite restrictions. Christianity is no longer a purely European faith, it is truly global. Why did Christianity become so popular? Summarizing why Christianity became the world's largest religion involves multiple interwoven factors. 1. Universal appeal. Christianity offered salvation to all, regardless of ethnicity or social class. It was inclusive, a radical idea in a stratified Roman world. 2. Strong community life. Early Christians created tight-knit communities that cared for the sick, poor, and marginalized. This was attractive, especially during times of crisis. 3. Martyrdom and conviction. Persecution often strengthened the faith's appeal. Martyrs' courage inspired others. 4. Political patronage. Imperial support under Constantine and Theodosius gave Christianity resources, prestige, and legal protection. 5. Missionary zeal. Missionaries crossed boundaries, learned languages, and contextualized the faith for different cultures. 6. Adaptability. Christianity could adapt to local customs while maintaining core beliefs. This flexibility aided its global expansion. 7. Cultural influence. Christianity shaped art, music, philosophy, and education, embedding itself deeply into societies. Challenges and the future. Despite its vast size, Christianity faces challenges. In the West, church attendance declines amid secularization. In some regions, Christians endure persecution. Debates over theology, ethics, and social issues cause internal tensions. Yet Christianity remains vibrant, with new movements, charismatic churches, and digital evangelism reshaping its future. Christianity's path to becoming the world's largest religion was neither inevitable nor simple. It involved centuries of perseverance, transformation, and adaptation. From humble beginnings among fishermen and tax collectors in Judea, Christianity has grown into a global faith influencing billions. Its enduring message of hope, redemption, and love continues to resonate across cultures and continents. Whether one embraces the faith or studies it as an outsider, understanding how Christianity became the most popular religion on earth is essential to understanding human history itself. Christianity's story is ultimately a story of people, believers who carried their faith across empires, languages, and ages, forever changing the face of the world. Why did Christianity become so popular? Among the countless religions that have arisen throughout human history, Christianity stands out as the world's largest, with over 2.3 billion adherents worldwide. From its origins as a small Jewish sect in first-century Judea to its vast influence across continents and cultures, Christianity's extraordinary popularity raises a fascinating question. Why did Christianity become so popular? Many assume its spread was simply a result of Roman emperors imposing it upon the empire. But the true story is far richer, involving deep spiritual appeal, unique social dynamics, political events, cultural transformations, and historical circumstances. Let's dive into the layered reasons behind Christianity's remarkable rise. 1. A universal message for all people. At its core, Christianity's message was radically inclusive. Unlike many ancient religions tied to specific ethnic groups, gods, or regions, Christianity proclaimed a universal faith open to anyone, regardless of background, gender, or social class. Jesus preached love, forgiveness, and salvation for all who believed. The Apostle Paul, in particular, emphasized that salvation came not through following Jewish law, but through faith in Christ. This meant Gentiles, non-Jews, could fully belong without adopting Jewish customs like circumcision or dietary laws. This universality set Christianity apart. In a Roman world fragmented by social hierarchies and ethnic divisions, a faith that welcomed slaves, women, the poor, and foreigners had immense appeal. People marginalized by society found dignity and belonging in Christian communities. 2. Deep emotional and spiritual resonance. Beyond doctrinal teachings, Christianity addressed profound human needs. Hope in the face of suffering. Life in the ancient world was harsh. Disease, war, famine, and oppression were constant threats. Christianity offered comfort, promising that suffering was temporary and that eternal life awaited believers. Forgiveness and grace. Many religions required elaborate rituals or sacrifices for favor with the gods. Christianity emphasized forgiveness as a gift of grace, not something earned by human effort. This was a powerful message of liberation. Personal relationship with God. Unlike distant pagan deities, Christianity proclaimed a personal God who loved individuals intimately and cared about their daily struggles. These spiritual dimensions weren't merely intellectual. They spoke to the hearts of millions seeking meaning, especially in times of crisis. 3. Communities of care and solidarity. Another key reason for Christianity's popularity was the distinctive way Christians treated one another and outsiders. Ancient Roman society could be harshly individualistic, with limited social welfare beyond family ties or patronage systems. Early Christians formed tight-knit communities known as ecclesiae. These groups cared for the poor and sick regardless of their background, provided emotional and material support to widows, orphans, and the destitute, buried the dead respectfully, even during plagues when many others fled. During epidemics like the Antonine Plague, 2nd century CE, and Cyprian Plague, 3rd century CE, Christians often stayed behind to nurse the sick, risking their own lives. This practical love astonished observers. Many converted simply because they witnessed Christians' selfless compassion. 4. Charismatic leadership and missionary zeal. Leadership played an essential role in Christianity's growth. Figures like Paul, Peter, and later missionaries traveled extensively, founding churches and mentoring local leaders. Paul's letters, epistles, connected scattered communities, reinforcing shared beliefs and practices. His ability to articulate Christian theology in terms understandable to Greek and Roman audiences helped bridge cultural gaps. Christianity's missionary zeal was exceptional. Believers felt compelled to share the good news, convinced it was a truth meant for all humanity. From the earliest decades, Christians actively spread their faith across cities and provinces. 5. Effective use of Roman infrastructure. Christianity's growth coincided with the height of the Roman Empire, a vast network connected by roads, trade routes, and a shared language, Greek in the east, Latin in the west. This infrastructure allowed missionaries to travel safely and efficiently, letters and ideas to circulate rapidly, diverse communities to remain in communication despite distance. Without Roman roads, Christianity might have remained a small local sect. Instead, it became a networked, urban movement that thrived in bustling cities like Antioch, Corinth, and Rome. 6. The role of persecution. Paradoxically, persecution often fueled Christianity's appeal. Roman authorities viewed Christians with suspicion because they refused to worship the emperor or Roman gods. They met secretly, arousing rumors of illicit behavior. Their loyalty seemed to lie with a kingdom not of this world. While persecution was sporadic, it was brutal when it occurred. Yet far from wiping out the faith, persecution often attracted new converts. Stories of martyrs, believers who refused to renounce Christ even under torture, circulated widely. Their courage inspired awe and curiosity. Many wondered what truth could be so precious that people would die for it. As Tertullian famously wrote, "The blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church." 7. Cultural adaptability. Christianity possessed a remarkable ability to adapt to new cultures without losing its core message. Missionaries learned local languages, customs, and philosophical frameworks, reframing Christian ideas in terms familiar to new audiences. For example, in the Greco-Roman world, Christian thinkers like Justin Martyr and Clement of Alexandria presented Jesus as the Logos, a term Greek philosophers understood as divine reason or wisdom. In the Germanic and Celtic regions, missionaries incorporated local symbols and festivals, eventually giving rise to traditions like Christmas trees and Easter eggs. This flexibility made Christianity less foreign and threatening, easing its spread. 8. Imperial patronage and political power. Perhaps the most significant turning point came in the 4th century CE. In 312 CE, Constantine the Great, vying for sole control of the Roman Empire, claimed to see a vision of a cross in the sky with the words, "In this sign, conquer." Constantine won the Battle of the Milvian Bridge and credited his victory to the Christian God. In 313 CE, he issued the Edict of Milan, legalizing Christianity. While Constantine's personal faith is debated, his patronage changed everything. Christians could worship openly. The church gained imperial funding for buildings and clergy. Christian symbols and rhetoric entered public life. In 380 CE, Emperor Theodosius declared Christianity the official religion of the empire. Pagan practices were increasingly suppressed. Christianity shifted from a persecuted minority to a pillar of state identity. 9. Institutional structure and unity. Christianity developed an organized, hierarchical structure early on. Bishops governed local churches and convened councils to settle doctrinal disputes. Councils like Nicaea, 325 CE, Constantinople, 381 CE, Chalcedon, 451 CE, defined orthodox beliefs and condemned heresies. This unity allowed the faith to maintain coherence even as it spread across cultures. Other religions often lacked such organized leadership, making them more vulnerable to fragmentation. 10. Preservation of knowledge and culture. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 CE, Christianity played a critical role in preserving learning and culture. Monasteries became centers of literacy and manuscript copying, education for clergy and elites, preservation of classical texts. During Europe's Dark Ages, monks copied not only Christian writings, but also works by Greek and Roman authors. This intellectual continuity helped Christianity remain relevant and influential. 11. The Age of Exploration and Colonialism. From the 15th century onward, European empires spread Christianity worldwide. Spanish, Portuguese, British, French, and Dutch explorers carried missionaries to the Americas, Africa, and Asia. This expansion was not purely religious. It was often intertwined with colonial exploitation. Nonetheless, missionaries translated the Bible into local languages and established schools, hospitals, and churches. Over time, many converted by choice, blending Christian beliefs with local customs, giving rise to diverse cultural expressions of Christianity. 12. Protestant Reformation and renewed missionary activity. The 16th century Protestant Reformation fractured Western Christianity, but also intensified missionary zeal. Protestant groups like the Moravians, the Jesuits, Catholic but highly missionary, Baptist and Methodist societies, sent missionaries worldwide. The translation of the Bible into vernacular languages empowered lay people and fueled further spread. 13. Christianity's cultural influence. Over centuries, Christianity shaped Western civilizations. Art and architecture, cathedrals, paintings, sculptures. Music, Gregorian chants, Bach's compositions. Literature, Dante's Divine Comedy, Milton's Paradise Lost. Laws and social norms. Christian holidays, symbols, and moral frameworks permeated daily life, even among those who were not deeply religious. 14. Global demographics today. In the 21st century, Christianity's growth story continues. Africa, explosive growth in Pentecostal and charismatic movements. Asia, rising numbers of Christians in China and South Korea. Latin America, vibrant Catholicism alongside a growing Protestant presence. Christianity has become truly global. The average Christian today is more likely to live in Lagos or Sao Paulo than in London or Rome. Summing up, why did Christianity become so popular? In short, Christianity's popularity rests on a combination of factors. Universal appeal transcending ethnicity and class. Emotional and spiritual fulfillment addressing human suffering and questions of meaning. Community solidarity offering care and belonging. Charismatic leaders and effective communication. Roman infrastructure enabling rapid spread. Martyrdom's witness inspiring admiration. Cultural adaptability easing integration into diverse societies. Imperial support granting legitimacy and resources. Institutional organization maintaining unity. Preservation of culture and learning sustaining influence. Global missionary zeal expanding the faith worldwide. Christianity's story is a tapestry of faith, resilience, adaptation, and sometimes controversy. Its rise to prominence was neither simple nor inevitable, but it stands as one of the most significant forces shaping human history. Whether one believes in its spiritual claims or views it as a historical phenomenon, understanding why Christianity became so popular is essential to understanding our world. Thanks for watching. The story of how Christianity became the most popular religion on earth is a powerful reminder of how ideas can transform the world. From secret gatherings in ancient Rome to churches on every continent, Christianity's journey is filled with faith, conflict, and incredible cultural impact. What do you think was the biggest reason for its global rise? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history and religion. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep seeking the truth.